Hi everyone, it's Marcy Denning here from Stampin' with Marcy. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Canada, and I want to welcome you to this month's Creating Kindness Design Team blog and video hop. This month our theme is maritime, and to me maritime is water, and what better stamp set to use than Shark Frenzy. So I have used the Shark Frenzy bundle that is available right now in the mini catalog. I've used the dies as well as the stamp set. I have used the sign from the Hey Chick dies, and then I have used the happy birthday and the let's celebrate you. I'm going to mask off part of that so that we have the just the celebrate, and then of course the Whale of a Time designer series paper. Okay, so this is the fun card that I have created. This is for my son's 30th birthday, actually. You're never too old for a fun card. So I've got my happy birthday and then the do in there, and then the celebrate there. So and this is on one of our window sheets, and this will fold flat, and it measures 5.5. So it will fit in a regular envelope. Now I do not have anything on the back. However, before you assemble your card, you will, or you could, cut a piece of the Pretty Peacock and the basic white, so that this is where you're going to put your sentiment. So let's get started. So this is a bridge fold or a U fold, however you want to call that. And I have all of my pieces cut here. So my cardstock is 8 inches by 4.25. All of the measurements can be found on my blog. I will have the link posted in the description below. So this is Pretty Peacock. This is one of the retiring in colors. So if this is a color that you like, I would highly suggest you purchase everything that you need to continue on using this fabulous color before it's gone for good. So let's just move all of these out of the way. All right, so you can see that I am scored at 1.25, 2.5, 5.5, and 6.75 inches. So let's just move that aside. And we are going to bring in our Pretty Peacock ink pad and our happy birthday, and that is going to go right up here in the top as I build my scene right there. Okay, and then my do. To me, this is the from Jaws, do, whereas others who have little ones, this would be that baby shark, do. Well, my kids are so much older than that, so I'm thinking of it as the Jaws theme. There we go, so super cute. All right, so now let's stamp our celebrate. So I have taken my blending brush and some Pool Party, and I've already gone ahead and I have done some ink blending around the outside of that just to add to the depth and dimension of that sign. So I'm going to take some washi tape to cover up, to mask off the words that I don't want as part of my sentiment. So this celebrate. Okay, and we're inked up good. So then peel that tape off so that you don't wreck your sign here. And let's hope that I get this stamped nice and centered. Okay, I have a backup just in case. And there we go. Perfect. Okay, I did not need to use the backup. Good stuff. All right, so we're going to set that off to the side, and now we're going to come in with our shark. Now this is a two-step stamp. There is a fill in, however, I found it extremely dark when I stamped the other image, the inside image. Let me just pull this out here. So this image here, I found that very dark, that there was no color difference with his eyebrow and those side gills. And then I found that when I stamped it off, I wasn't happy with that effect either. So I brought in my Stampin' blends, the dark pretty peacock and the light pretty peacock, and that is what I'm going to color with. So we are going to add, I'm not going fancy or anything like that, just a little bit of shadowing and shading there. And I see I've got ink on my fingers, so I best be cleaning that off before I get ink all over my project, and I don't want that. So I'm just coming in and adding some dark here and there. And then, oh, his fin there, and then his nose. I know my son will get a kick out of this card. Like I said, these fun critters, animals, they are not just for little people. I know I would get a kick out of receiving a card like that. All right, so I'm gonna put my lid on that. And then I'm going to come in with my light and go over to blend that line out, turning so that I'm more over top of as I work away on this. And I've already die cut all my other pieces to save time so that I don't have an epic long video for you. Oh, I just went over the line there as I'm trying to rush. I will come in with my color lifter in a moment and get rid of that as best as I can. It doesn't lift the color, it moves it. So this is my busy time for family birthdays, so I know I will have a recipient for my other card here. February and March are very busy in our family. Being careful not to cover his eye. I just want to quickly get that first layer down. Okay, now I'm going to come over here and go over this to blend that color out. It's moving it. I'm not a fancy colorer. I'm not professionally trained, as you can tell, meaning that anybody can do this if I can do it and make it look half decent. All right, so we're just going to bring that down. And the more color you lay down, the it's going to change the tone and depth of that color. Okay, so let's just bring a little bit more here. You want to keep working while it's wet but not oversaturated so that it really bleeds. Okay, so I'm going to bring my color lifter in and just kind of move that just slightly. All right. So now we are going to bring in our little, I call this the little sister of the cut and emboss, the big machine. This is the little one, which is so perfect to be sitting on your craft table. Pull out for these little things. All right, and I'm just using a bit of tape that doesn't have a lot of tack to it so that it's not going to rip my paper. Okay, put a new one here and crank it through. All right, and there we have our little shark. And I see I have more ink everywhere. I find that when I'm using the dark colored inks, I seem to tend to get really inky. All right, so let's start building our card. Make sure I'm in camera view. Okay, so I am adding my liquid adhesive to the back. I find that my liquid is my adhesive of choice as I have a few more moments to move my project around if I have not quite stuck it down straight, which is something I do quite frequently. Stick it down a little crooked, so this gives me just those few extra moments to manipulate to get it straight. And remember, like I said, all of the measurements as well as supplies will be over on my blog, and the link for easy access to this blog post that coordinates will be embedded down in the description box below. As well as on my blog, there will be the blog links to follow along with our hop with all of the other team members that are taking part this month. So there we go. And this one here. And here we are. My last one. Okay, so now I'm going to wait to put my little fish on because I want to have this assembled so that I can see. I don't want them to be buried behind my little sharky here. So here is my base. So I'm going to take with my bone folder, I'm going to fold and burnish. And then this piece here is going to come back. And then this one here. Giving it a good crease. All right. So this is the way it sits. And as I showed, it will fold either way. So I am going to now take my back piece here, and we are going to adhere this. And all of my layers are 1/8 of an inch smaller so that I've got that lovely little border. So there we go. And then to make sure that these kind of sorta, so this is going to go like this is going to go there. Make sure I've got it so that it, there. No, I think I like it better this way. So, okay, so these pieces here are going to be glued down right like that, so that there is that nice border, and I'm lining up my top and my bottom so that it's fairly straight and even across those layers. All right, and then this one here. And then when we go to do the shark, he is on a piece of window sheet. So this is the tricky part. So I am going to take my Stampin' Seal, and I am going to add a bit here, and this should be good enough adhesion that it's not going to come off. All right, so fold that back so that we've got, I am going to take my shark and I'm going to place him so that I can see whereabouts I want. So I'm going to say that's almost 1 inch up. So I'm going to lay this down like this, and I'm going to come in a bit because I don't want my I don't want the edge of that coming out through that layer. So then I'm going to take this and fold it back, and then I'm going to come across and have this like this, so that way, once I fold it like this and this is open, I know that it's going to lay out like this nicely for inside my envelope. And now I can take my glue and so this is 1 inch by 5 inches. You could, if you were putting it over top and you weren't hiding it per se, you would make it 5.5 inches so that it spans the entire width of that the card front. But because I want it hidden there on the sides, I have taken that 1/2 inch off to have it tucked underneath, so to speak. So we are just, and when you're putting your next elements on, that's where it's going to get a little tricky. So there's our fold all ready to go. So these things here, they're a little tricky in that getting them on here without getting glue everywhere. So this is where you have to be careful. Now I, again, took my sponge or my blending brush and I colored some of these in. So we are going to put a couple dimensionals on the back of my shark. And I kind of built around how he was going to be. So I know he wants to be here, and then I'm going to put his, we don't want the Celebrate to be going to be in his hand, but we don't want to really block that sentiment. So I know that right about here, so this center section is where he's going to have just a few of the dimensionals to pop him up off of that card. We don't need a whole lot. Better stick that. And then we are going to put a glue dot on his hand for him to hold that sign. So we want it to be about like that. All right, so we're going to put our little glue dot right there. And then kind of guesstimate. We don't want his fin to cover. So there we have that. All right, so we want one of these to be under here. So, because I want it to be popped out, kind of. So I'm going to take and apply just a little bit of glue to a couple of these leaves in the stem. And again, I'm going to lift that up. And okay, so right about there. It's okay that it's kind of, and I don't need it to be under fully. So then the other side, I have an awful lot of these, but I don't need them all. All right, so we're going to do a couple here like this, because he is going to be like that. So we need to take, you could put as many as you want on. Again, just a few little dots of my liquid glue. And let's just put, I think we're going to put a few more on than my original. Just because I feel like it. All right, so let's see what we're thinking here. Yeah, I think I want a few more in here, so let's do, we'll do 3 on this side and 2 on this side, because we like odd numbers, not even. It's just going to add to our card. And then the more outline one. All right. All right. So there we've got our 3 there. And then when we pop him on, see, he's got all that behind him. So we're going to put a little dimensional so that the sign is popped up as well. So that's going to go down here in this corner. That is, all right, so, and I think I can put another dimensional here. I like to make sure I have enough dimensionals on so that we are not sagging anywhere, but you want to make sure that you're not. I just want to make sure that I don't want it to, there, stick down so that it won't open back up. All right, so now we're going to stick Mr. Shark right. He needs to be a smidge higher. Come on. It takes a while for the glue to dry on the window sheets. So unfortunately, I've just pulled that off. So let's tuck you right back. All right. There. I think that's good. Flip it over. Yes, we're all covered in there. The dimensionals are not showing through. Okay, so now we are going to add some cute little fish. So again, with my fish, I've sponged, but I've also taken my marker and gone around the edge just to give it a little bit more definition. So I'm just going to take, with my Stampin' Blend, the dark Calypso Coral. It's just going to give that fish that bit more definition for being on the Designer Series paper, so he's more popping off, giving more visual interest, I think. There we go. So put that lid on, and then we are going to, it's easier to add your glue to the larger area, so that's what I've done there. So I'm going to add one of these mediums. And a small. Okay, and then we're going to do, I'm missing one of my fishies. We are going to do, up in this area here, we're going to do one here. Let's see here. Yeah, one down here, one here, and one here. So I've got my my triangle shape. As you can see right in here, there's my triangle shape with my glue. So I'm going to take my fish here, and the big one here is going to go right there. And my little one is going to go right there. Flip it over to make sure that they are not wonky. And then all right, here we go. I don't know where my other medium, somewhere on my desk. So we're doing two of the bigger. There we go. How super cute is that? All right. So here is my card. Let me move that out of the way. Here's my original. Here is the one I've created with you. I hope you like this video. Give me a thumbs up. If you haven't yet, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. And as you see, it folds flat, making it easy to pop into a envelope to mail. Super, super sweet, easy to create. I hope you try one of these fun folds yourself. And thank you so much. Leave me a comment. I love to hear from you. I will respond to every comment that needs response. So thanks so much and have a great day. Bye for now.